What's going on, everybody? Hope you are having a wonderful day so far. So, podcast time. Chloé Robinson, techno DJ based out of London, and she's had a really interesting career. She went under a previous artist name called Barely Legal, had a Radio 1 Extra, won like a Radio 1 Extra competition. Then also had a Rinse show for 2 years on Rinse FM in the UK, and has had like a really interesting career. During pandemic, decided to change her name and kind of change the genre of music that she's aligned with. She had released some pretty big records on her own label called Pretty Weird, had a Fortet remix, and things started kind of growing from there as well. I really like Chloé. She's such a lovely person, and she makes amazing music. So I thought I'd get her on the podcast, and I really just wanted to like talk about the process of changing names and how she's finding the industry right now. It was a really interesting conversation. So without further ado, Chloé Robinson. Chloé Robinson, what's cooking, mate?
Hi.
How's it going?
Good, thank you. How you doing?
Good. Whereabouts in the world are you?
I'm in Surrey at the moment.
Good old Surrey.
Yeah, temporarily.
Yeah.
So,
You mean why temporarily? Where are you going?
Because moving to a house in Bethnal Green, but it's like taking ages for the contracts to go through, like a house purchase.
Oh, you buying?
Yeah.
Check you out.
With a bit of help. Definitely not. I'm definitely not on my own.
That's amazing, though. Buying your own house is a sick achievement to have in your life, right?
Yeah, if you've achieved it.
Hey, you have. No matter, even if you're getting help, fuck it.
Yeah, of course.
Give yourself some credit, girl. Come on.
That'd be good.
How's the summer going so far?
Yeah, good. It's I say it was like slightly calmer than last summer, but it's picking up quite quickly actually. There's lots of like last minute things coming through. Although I've got this weekend off, which I'm really excited about. So
nice. What are you gonna do on your weekend off?
I'm gonna go and stay at like my empty auntie's house in Kentish Town and like live back in London for a bit because I need to see I act like I'm really far away, like I'm literally as close to London as you could be, but
you're really not that far.
No, I know. I'm gonna bring my cat with me and don't know. See where the weekend takes me.
Sounds like a romantic weekend, if you ask me.
Yeah, of course.
How was your trips to America recently?
What did I do? Good. Although I was in America when LA had that big hailstorm.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which was pretty mental for LA. And then the party I was playing at got flooded. Like it was in a warehouse, and they got a new venue within an hour, but like I struggled to get out of the house and like forced myself out in the rain, let alone the ravers, but they all came out, so that was good. Well, I think most of them came out, so yeah.
How are you not a fan of the rain if you are from England? Come on.
No, I don't mind it, but it was, I mean, like, I had to, like, walk through basically like a lake to get to the warehouse. It was like a puddle that was just so deep. So it was a lot. It was like a lot of rain.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you spend much time out there?
I got my visa in April last year, and I've been out there maybe like 3 or 4 times.
Do you enjoy it?
So yeah, I really like it. Still trying to work out the financial works of it all. I know you gave me some very helpful advice.
Yeah, did you get in touch with an accountant?
Yeah, I need my social security number basically, which I need to be in America to get.
To get it back.
Yeah.
It's such a nightmare touring as like a touring artist from a foreign country in America. Such a process.
I know. And you think you like made loads of money, you come back and you're like, oh. For anyone that doesn't know, depending on like what state you're in, they can withhold like 30% tax, and then you've got your agent fees, and then no management fees anymore, which is cool.
Oh yeah.
But I actually feel rich right now having no manager. I'm getting booking offers come in, and I'm like not having to work out how much I'll actually get. I'm like sick.
Yeah. It's so weird because I was talking to somebody about this yesterday, and where you like, let's just say for instance you get a fee for like, just to make it easy, you get a fee for $1,000, and you're a British citizen touring in America. Like the tax, the IRS take $300 from you straight away.
Yeah.
And then your agent takes $100, which is fine. I have no issues with paying agents.
No, not at all.
And then your manager's taking 15 to 20%, which is another $150 to $200. So you've got like 600.
And then you've made it, but I haven't yet. So I
have not made it.
Do you get all your flights to pay? Well, are you based in America now?
So yeah. I'm in the UK at this moment in time, but I switch between the UK and Detroit.
Have you got two homes?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, but then obviously out of the fee, then got to cover your flights.
Yeah,
and
so
all your ground transport,
yep.
and sometimes your hotel, which are bloody expensive, especially in New York.
Yep.
Although my friend's got a job at Ace Hotel, and last time I went to New York, I paid $89 a night.
Ace Hotel is great as well. It's really nice hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
And I got free cocktails at the bar. I had a great time.
This is literally the crux of the matter is we all have to make friends with people that work in hotels, because it's the only way to get cheap hotels. I got the same. One of my mates, he works in the Moxie in New York and sorts me out good and proper. But like out of $1,000, you then have to pay for flights. And then which like flights are probably about $250 if we're touring in between the US.
Yeah.
So then you're left with another $250 out of the $1,000, and then you have to.
What about your taxi or from the airport as well?
Yeah, that's about.
Or you can get a train, which is actually quite easy in New York.
Yeah, okay.
Not in every place.
Let's just say you get a train because you're feeling frugal, so that's like $20. And then you have to get food, which, let's be honest, in New York you can't cheap out, or maybe you get a slice of pizza for $1. So you're like you're out of $1,000 fee, you're walking away with less than $200. Sorry, fucking put the phone on, girl.
It's on Do Not Disturb.
They called you twice. Oh, an alarm.
An alarm because I'm scatty. I'm so sorry. I've got no more alarms, but like I've got a lot of alarms.
That's such a DJ alarm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So realistically,
sorry,
you're left with like no money.
Yeah.
If you're getting.
We're really selling the American dream, aren't we?
We're really selling the DJ dream, let's be honest, because it's the same everywhere else. Like even in like Spain and Germany, you get withheld.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do anyway.
I obviously don't check my itinerary, my statements or anything. Like I don't even check my itinerary until like I'm at the airport.
Do you not?
No, I'm pretty bad.
Yeah, I used to be like really on it with like when I first started touring, knowing exactly what I was doing, and then it kind of gets to the point where it's like, okay, I look like the 2 days before what the deal is. But half the time, I guess it's just because you do it so often, you kind of like just expect it all to be done. Do you have like an advancing team, or does your agents do that?
Yeah, my agency have just recently stopped doing advancing, which makes sense. It's like it takes up a lot of their time, and so I use like an external advancer now, which is good, working out well for me.
How do you find that?
Yeah, I've not had any problems with them. And yeah. I think other people have, but I've been all right. So I'm also like not very sassy. Maybe I am, but like if something goes wrong and it's like a mistake, I'm not like screaming at them, you know?
Yeah.
Like I haven't had any mistakes yet though. I have in the past.
That's good.
Yeah.
Did your agent take less money then?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's
Come on, mate, you need to know these things.
I know. I assume they take 10% rather than 15.
I hope so.
Yeah, it will be that. Yeah, yeah.
Double check.
I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure like it'd be a bit like messed up if they didn't.
Imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, when European agents take 15% and then they do your advancing, I don't know if it's necessarily worth it.
Yeah.
Because they're making a lot of money out of the advancing.
Yeah, they are. They are.
5% is a lot. But
yeah.
Yeah, it's a strange industry that we work in, right? I think if you ask most other industries if you would do this, so you do it for years for absolutely nothing, and then when you start getting paid, it takes a long time to actually get paid, and then you're just hoping that something pops off and then you get the payday.
Yeah, I know. I feel like my payments come through like yeah. Sorry, I was listening to you. I'm just my laptop was like it's about to die, but it's plugged in.
So let's talk about your career.
Yeah.
I've known of you for a long time, as your previous artist name.
Yeah.
So I'd love to like talk in some depth about that, and how you got to where you're at today, really. Because there's been a lot of transitions, and it's really interesting to see like a transition in in people's careers, taking it from where you started to where you are now.
Yeah, so I started off about 13 years ago, just as a hobby, won a competition with One Extra, which led to a residency, and back then my mixing was like just grime and garage, and then I kind of like got into other genres, and then I got into drum and bass really late, like 2016, which is when I also got into techno. But I tried to translate what I was like actually into via my Rinse FM shows, and they weren't translating onto bookings because I was so like tightly associated with like the genres that I was playing at the start. Like I still get called a grime DJ as Chloé Robinson, which is ridiculous. I'm like, I don't play grime. And then and then I was like, okay, cool. So maybe I could like place myself on the lineups I want to be on by booking myself. So I did my own like pretty weird parties and curated those. That was when I was still under the old alias Barely Legal. And then during the pandemic, my old manager just got some feedback from some like festival bookers just saying like, we'd love to put Chloé on those stages with like with those acts, but like I just can't because of her name, because of like just what people perceive her as, you know. They would go there and expect a different genre of music. And then also I'm just gonna this is pretty bad. If you type my DJ name into Facebook, this comes up.
Oh wow, yeah.
And I mean just the starting line is child sexual abuse is illegal. And then we think your search might be associated with child sexual abuse. It goes on.
Yeah.
So that was pretty much
the crux of it.
I mean, I wanted to change it for ages, but it's just like, yeah, it's a bit nerve-wracking, isn't it? Like, will it work? Or have you just completely killed your career? I don't know, you know.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting because it's almost starting to scratch, but it's not at the same time.
Yeah, but I've seen it's just not work for so many people.
Yeah,
you know, it's worked for less people than it has more, for sure.
Do you think?
Yeah.
So how have you made it work? Because it seems to be working.
Because I was fortunate enough to have bigger names pushing my name. So during the pandemic, I ran away and for about 8 months, and I was in like strict lockdown in Colombia. And then I was with Alex, ADHD, and he was like, I'm going to teach you how to make tunes. And I was like, okay, fine. And then we made like 2 tunes off a Bluetooth speaker, which we made packs, and then we made one which hasn't come out yet.
Yeah.
And I sent them to Fortet, and then I mentioned in the email that I was going to change my name to my actual name. And then he did a really, really nice tweet about the tunes, and then put my actual name in the tweet, and then tagged my handle, which was my old DJ name.
Yeah.
And then that like flags loads of attention. So that was kind of like all the PR I needed.
Yeah.
And then I did like a mix for Mix Mag and a big like article like talking about why I changed my name, and then I put a load of like productions in the mix as well. And I think just having those productions alongside like the name change really helped with just like being able to say like this is what I'm going by now, and this is my sound, you know, rather than just being like, here's a mix of people's tunes.
Yeah.
Like here is my actual tunes that I started making, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's so important to have the music to follow up. Because I think it's really easy to like be a DJ nowadays. Being a DJ nowadays doesn't kind of give you any identity because I'd
say it's actually not very easy to just be a DJ these days because it's really, really cutthroat at the moment.
Well, I think it's easy to DJ, but whether you're
I get you. Yeah, the actual process.
Yeah, whether you're getting booked is a different situation.
What's
you said it, you think it's really cutthroat. What's your thoughts and feelings behind that?
I think this year it's just been like harder than last year for a lot of people. I wasn't sure whether it's just me, but speaking to like lots of friends within the industry, it's like quite across the board for like the middle tier DJs, you know?
Yeah.
I think you've obviously got like cost of living crisis over this side of the world, which is really affecting like ticket numbers and stuff. And people are buying things really late now, like literally like a few days before the event, unless it's like a big event. And I think, you know, it's easier and it's safer to book people that are going to definitely sell tickets. And then when it comes to like the middle tier people, I don't really like to say it, but there's definitely a lot of box ticking going on, and I obviously fall into the category of females. And I think that there's a lot of like really, really cool up and coming names that are coming through who are cheaper than me, and maybe like this is just my guess, maybe with the budgets lower, it's actually like cooler to kind of book one of the more new up and coming names who are a girl than me, who's a bit more expensive. And I also I think I did like loads of them last year, and I think a lot of festivals don't really want to do too many rebookings anymore. So they say that, and then you look at the lineup and you're like, okay, but cool.
They rebook the headliners.
Yeah. But yeah, I think maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know.
How did you find it pre-COVID with regards to bookings, with like being a female as well? How was that for you?
I mean, at the very start of my journey, I flagged attention to my mix I sent into One Extra, which is that competition that got me the residency, because they were like calling out for girls. They were like, there's no female sending in mixes, and we kind of want some like female energy. So I think that's what flagged the attention to mine. Mm-hmm. And there weren't any girls at the time that were playing what I was playing, like out in clubs. So that was the niche, I guess.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, so I guess it at the very start, it was like an advantage. I don't really like notice the box ticking going on. I don't know.
I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with box ticking, though, is it? If I'm honest.
No, not at all. Yeah, completely. Like I think diversity is really important. I think you just keep the quality high.
That's the thing. It's just about having really good. There's so many options out there now. There's so many amazing artists from all walks of life, and I think there sometimes can be really lazy bookings when it comes to just booking for the sake of having to book rather than booking for quality.
Yeah, I've had scenarios in the past as well where I've been with agents who book you by linking you with their like top roster.
Yeah.
You know, like to help you grow. But that really, I was really detrimental for my career, because I was just constantly playing with those acts, and like they were people that I like respected, but not people I wanted to be on lineups with every week. And also feeling like you weren't actually booked, you know?
Yeah. No, I've had that.
Then,
I've had that.
Then I moved away from that and moved to another agency, and I kind of had to do like a reset. Like I basically when I left that agent, I got basically like pulled off most of the lineups that I was on for that year. Even contracted ones, which was quite scary and confusing, but to deal with it. It just meant I had to go out there and sort of reach out to these promoters that I was meant to be playing for and just rescheduled, because they're people that I've played for in the past, so already had relationships. But yeah, it was like a reset, but it was also like I was also happy again, because I felt like when you're playing and you're warming up for people who are like the headliners, who people are there to see, like I noticed that like if I played a tune, like the reaction would be quite minimal, and then if they played the same tune that night, the reaction would be completely different. And it's like all just because of like who the DJ was playing it, not like how it was mixed in or anything like that. So it's a bit like disheartening when you're just like not really want, like the booker probably didn't want you there, and then the audience don't really care if you're there or not, you know. And I was like starting to fall out of love, and then when I moved agencies, all the bookings that came in were organic, and there were people that wanted to book me. So that was like a really positive change, like in the long run.
Yeah, I think it's a tough one, isn't it? Because I think sometimes you have to do those shows in front of a crowd that don't know who you are. I pretty much go into every show thinking nobody knows who I am and try to win them over. But I've done plenty of those shows when you're with like a big headliner and you might as well just play iPod beforehand because nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah.
Really. And
Yeah.
it's very demoralizing. And also, realistically, like, your fee is kind of, I'm not too sure what the word is, but it's like your fee is so low and anyway, because they're just booking you for the sake of having somebody else on the lineup rather
I
than
mean, I think at the time the fee was actually like,
decent.
yeah, more than I probably deserved.
Yeah.
Because my agent would curate the whole night.
Yeah.
So she would kind of move the fees around, whatever, to make sure our artists were happy. So yeah, I was actually making a lot of money doing shows that I probably wasn't wanted at. Making like the most money really, and then realizing that I wasn't happy.
Yeah.
And then I had to kind of like take things a bit slower when resetting, but got the feedback up, so got it higher. So that was good.
It's such a process, this industry though, isn't it?
Yeah.
And there's so many like ups and downs, and I think it's very easy to look on social media and see somebody's like trajectory on how it's one straight line on social media. It's very easy to see like somebody's doing really well all the time, yet behind the scenes it's all going to shit, and then it's kind of working out the next steps and the next processes of what your career is. It's really interesting.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have been opening up quite a lot over the last couple of years anyway on social media, not like in general. So it's nice to feel that you're not alone, and that these people that do look like they're having a really great time, absolutely killing it, are not an art necessarily. So yeah. But yeah, I've actually muted a lot of people on social media who are my friends.
Really?
Purely because I used to get triggered by like seeing announcements come out with them on, and like I thought that I should be on it too, kind of thing, you know, like festivals and stuff. I've unmuted them now because I'm past that, but it helps a lot to not compare myself.
How do you work through that process of not comparing yourself? Because I feel like every artist has been there at some point in their career.
I feel like I've grown out of it. You know, like I feel like I've just become happy for people.
Yeah.
Happy for my friends, but it's taken a long time to get there, and I don't really know what triggered me to suddenly not get all kind of pissed off and angry that I wasn't getting the same shows as other people, or getting as many. But yeah, maybe I'm just like grown up a bit, and also I've got the hobby of making music now. So if I do have a bit of time off, then I don't see it as a bad thing. I just see it as like oh great, I can just like make some tunes and whatnot, and like money wise I'm comfortable, you know. It's not like, oh, if I don't get enough shows this month, like I'm screwed for my rent kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like I've not been done with my money. I have actually. I don't know how I've got money, but I have been really done with my money, but I've got money. So it's fine. I always just think like it's fine. It's like the quality shows that I'm doing are cool, so it makes up for it, you know.
That's all that matters at the end of the day, isn't it? As long as you're enjoying what you're doing, and the process of growing as an artist is going in the right direction, and you're happy with that, then that's all that really matters in the grand scheme of this career.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
When you first started, you weren't writing records at all. Were you just purely DJing and radio?
Yeah.
Would you go back to radio?
There's a lot of pressure for me to do radio at the moment.
Is there? Why? Talk me through this. What's the pressure?
Well, there's just opportunities that are coming up, and I am just ignoring them because I don't enjoy radio.
Really?
I think I do. I think yeah, I'm not very good at keeping on top of new music really. And that was what was really good about having my like Rinse residency, because it made me keep on top of my new music. But yeah, do you know what? I think if I was to do radio next, I'd really like to do something short and sweet. So I think like a goal of mine is I'd love to do the Radio 1 residency.
Yeah.
I've just been putting the pilot off for ages. So I keep missing like the next run.
Yeah.
But no rush, right? No, I need to get onto that. So yeah.
How often do they do it? Is it like an every year thing?
They it's just like it's just ongoing at the moment, and they have like two like interchanging residents a month, I feel.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Oh, was it a month? Or I think you do like
8 weeks.
a show a week. You do 4 shows.
Okay.
Which is like quite good. Takes the pressure off. And then I guess you can like theme your shows and stuff to make it like a bit.
It's all pre-recorded though, right? As well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like my role would just be to like put together, I guess, like a mix of tunes on Ableton or whatever I want to use, and then like just do the talk over and do the links and send it over, and then I guess that's the pilot. But
get it done, girl. If that's the goal.
Yeah, I'm not very good at the talking part of it. So like towards the end of my Rinse shows, I just didn't say a word. And then they switched producer, and they were like, "What are you like? You're not going to say anything?" And I was like, "Nope." And they're like, "You can't do that." I was like, "I can, and I have been for the past 2 years." So, it's just like I've got away with it. But yeah, I get like it. I think with the Radio 1 residency, it's all specialist shows, so it's not really about like having that presenter voice and stuff. It's more just about like being able to give across information about what you're playing and whatnot.
Was your Rinse show more of a presenter vibe though?
No. They said like at least like say one thing, Chloe. I don't know.
So you didn't talk the whole of your Rinse show?
Yeah.
Wow. How the
No, I used to, and then I was just like saying complete baffle. And I listened back to it, and I was like, I've actually ruined the show for anyone who wants to listen back to it. So in my head, I was like, I'm basically just providing them like a 2-hour mix.
Yeah.
You know, because I think a lot of people don't listen live. So I was thinking more about the playback side of it. But yeah, I didn't say anything.
I didn't know that. That's fucking genius. How did you get away with that for so long?
I think I had a producer that was like, "Oh, whatever, okay, cool." And then when they switched it on, I was like, "No, this is like what I do now." So no. and then I left Rinse just to focus on production, and because I'm lazy.
It's doing a radio show is a process. I used to do one just like as like a mix online every month, and monthly was enough for me. Like
yeah, I did monthly, and it was a lot.
It was a lot. I couldn't even imagine. Like I had Danny Howard on the podcast and Sarah Story and Charlie T, and the amount of work they all put in.
Yeah, I know.
On a weekly show is just like. It's a full-time job, and it would stop me from producing. It stopped me from doing anything else. And they all have producers, and they all have music teams kind of helping them as well. And you're just like,
yeah, I know. It's so much work. Obviously, not really like compared to doing like a Rinse show and going in and playing for 2 hours, but like the work that goes into like, I feel like I see like Jaguar constantly working as well.
Yeah, they have
hard
to.
workers. You've got to be a really hard worker to be holding down a radio show like that.
Yeah, it's a lot of listening to music as well, and
yeah,
it's the one thing I'm really bad at is like now, especially in the last like since COVID, I think like I've stopped really hunting for new music for DJ sets and things like that. I do it occasionally, but I just play most of my own music.
Yeah, I'm the same. Like I tried to do it yesterday, and I thought I was like, doing really well, and then I got an hour in and I was just like, gonna go sit outside for a bit. So yeah, most of my sets are actually just like my mates' tunes, my tunes, or like forthcoming record label tunes, or old record label tunes. Like, it's actually really nice. It's kind of like they've become more of like a showcase. I think, but I do really like get excited about going out and doing a DJ set when I've got new tunes ready. So, I think maybe I'll spend like some time today going through to. No, I won't. No, I just thought about what I'm doing today. No, definitely won't. I was going to say like maybe this weekend, but no.
The process there, just watching your head go.
I like binge do it. I like do it like once or twice a month and just go through everything. This is really not the way to do it.
Yeah, I just end up like every time I do it, I'm also downloading records that I just like to listen to rather than like to play. And then I'm like, every time I go play a show, I'm like, well, these people want to hear this record, so I'm just going to play this record. And then I'm like, I've got a new record coming out on the label I need to test out, so I do that. And it just kind of goes back to that. And then like, okay, I didn't play any of the new records at all. And then it just seems a waste of just like time, really.
I'm also really, really fussy.
Yeah.
Like really fussy. So I found when I did radio that like when I went through the promos, if I was like, 6 out of 10 would play on radio maybe, and then it would get to this point where I'd have like an accumulation of like tracks I like thought were really good, not many because I'm fussy, and then I'd just have like a stack of tunes which I like thought they're all right, they'll be all right for radio, like I'd like to support the artist, like the release, but like I wouldn't play it in a club. And then I just had this whole like overload of tunes like every month, and I was just like, I shouldn't be downloading music if I don't think it's like
amazing.
And I found that like I had to for radio, like I had to kind of fill it with tunes that were like 6 is low, like 7 out of 10, you know?
Yeah, I think it's really tough though, because with the amount of music we all get sent on a regular basis, like you can log into your inflight and there's guaranteed to be like 400 promos, and it's like it's such
not
a
even
downer.
Like
good.
They're not even tailored to you as well.
No, it's just
most of the time.
And also like I know there's a lot of good music and there's a lot of bad music out there. It always has been, but it's like it feels like there's way more bad music that gets sent to you on promo purely because, like you said, it's not tailored to you. So like promo companies aren't really tailoring. All they're doing is hoping that you listen and give feedback so they can go get their money's worth really with the artist or with the label they're working with. So it is like really, I think gone are the days of the promo companies that like really curate their roster. Like I remember Exclusive Promo used to be like the best for it, where they would just like, it was impossible to get on as a DJ. Like they'd only do like cool kids. I was never, I was never a cool kid. This was years ago, and they like in fact one of my really good mates worked for them, and he was like, yeah, the owner won't put you on because you're not cool enough. And I was like, this motherfucker. Although I still got all the records, but like this guy, like the owner just literally wanted to like keep it super cool and super exclusive, which is it is great if you think about it, because then everyone goes and you know that you're getting a really curated promo. But now it's just like flood everyone's emails and just hope somebody opens your promos.
Yeah, and I don't think these promo companies really care about the quality of like the music that they're pushing. They just care about if they're gonna get paid or not, right?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, but
not.
like, yeah. I mean, I've never received anything like really, really bad. I have actually. Yeah, I have actually.
There's a lot of garbage.
Yeah.
But I think that's also just personal preference, right? So
yeah,
it's
I think it is for sure. Like, Yeah.
There's a lot of commercial stuff that gets sent out that I'm just like, I would never play this, so why am I getting asked to play it? But realistically, they're just doing their job. So it's
yeah, and I just get sent so much drum and bass as well, and I'm like, God,
that's
play.
That's because of your old shit. Come on, girl.
I know, no, but like through my Chloé Robinson email, and I'm like, no.
So do you not play drum and bass at all now? Strict techno.
I played it at snowbombing because I got booked to play it up in the mountains. I didn't know until the day before.
Because you don't look at your itinerary.
Yeah. And then I thought I was playing like the Snow Terrace, but I was actually doing Rompers Reggae Shack. But then in the bio on the app, they'd written that I was a grime DJ, and I was like also doing a second set, but like a much more tailored to my sound set, like their Brook and Straddle venue, which is cool. Playing like after Salute and before Pipe with 69, so it was perfect for like my sound.
Yeah. So
I was like, can you like please take that off that I play grime, like, because I don't, and like please just like, and then what do you play then? I was like, okay, I'm speaking to like an intern probably, and then they do these like newspapers like in every day, like showing like what's going to be the highlights of the day or whatever.
Yeah. And
they'd written that I was playing up in the mountain, but doing like a techno set of Rompers Reggae Shack, and I was like, "Oh no, I'm not." And then they had a picture of Emerald, who wasn't playing that year, to like promote the fact that I was doing a techno set, and I was like, "No." But I am doing a drum and bass set at Secret Garden Party with Pav from Foreign Beggars.
Nice.
Just because they were told that they needed a bit more drum and bass this year for the He She They stage.
Okay, yeah.
And then I'm going to do like a not normal set, but like my actual sound set as well on top of it. But I don't really play it, but I do like it. Like, yeah, I would still play drum and bass sets if it was like billed as drum and bass. But I'm not on top of my new music in that area.
Well, it's also like it's about keeping consistent, and with now you're Chloé Robinson, it's like, okay, you don't want to alienate everyone, and you want to keep consistent because that's so key.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to be anyone different than I was before. Like it just made things a lot easier for me to get on lineups in the house and techno world because they weren't having it with my old name, and I don't blame them, to be honest. Like, it makes sense why they'd be like, no. And now I'm on all the lineups that I've dreamt that I'd be on, so
that's amazing.
So it's great.
That's amazing. Let's talk about record labels.
Yeah.
You have your own label.
I do.
What's it called?
It's called Pretty Weird. Everyone really likes the name, actually. I get so many compliments on it.
It's a wicked name. I really dig it. And
Thank you.
The music's amazing on it. When did you start?
A while ago, so I didn't really do much.
There seems to be a theme right now going along.
I started it. Apparently I started in 2015.
Okay.
And then my first release was going to be by a guy called Wen, and it was going to be on vinyl. And then there was like issues with the distribution company. Like, it took them 6 months to get contract back. By the time that it got to the point where like was ready, it was so far down the line that Wen had been signed to like Big Dada.
Yeah.
So I wasn't allowed to do a release anyway. So I was like, okay, cool. And then it was just like really random, the releases I was putting out. There was no like consistency. And then when I met Alex, ADHD, that make all my tunes with, he really like helped like hone the label in, and I connected him and Nikki Nair together, and it made some really cool stuff together that I put out. And then Yeah, he basically, I'm just like, it's your label too now, because he helps out so much with it. And he's really like helped be really sort of picky with the roster and like kind of pick artists that we really, really rate that we'd love to like re-release with. Because I get a lot of demos, but it could be like one really, really cool track, but then 5 that I really don't think are that great. And I need to kind of hear everything and be like, okay, most of this is really good. And I can see you working with my other artists, and I can see us re-releasing. So I'm quite picky with like who I have releasing on.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that makes sense.
I've got like, again, I'm just like a bit scatty right now. And I've got like a line like in my notes of like all of the releases that needs to come out, and I don't even know where I'm going to start with it. So, but that's good. Like, it's better to have music than not, right? But I think I've got the next EP sorted. So
Amazing. Yeah, I think it's the whole label thing again. It's a process, and it's consistency. It's just having constant good quality releases.
Yeah, I thought I could do it on my own, but now I'm thinking like, this is where like I'm thinking like, I do maybe need like a manager just to help me with everything, but I also don't want to give 20% of my income away.
You can get a label manager.
I can get a label manager, yeah.
They're just as good and way cheaper.
Yeah, I think I might do that. Do I need one though? I don't really need one just yet, but I'm gonna head towards that. Yeah.
Yeah.
When I'm really, really busy.
Yeah, I think it's just having somebody. For me, is like I've got a team that run my label, and it's just having a team that like I know are gonna get everything done that I will forget to do, or I don't have time to do.
Yeah.
And it's just like all of the like correspondence. It's a process running your own label. It's a massive process.
Yeah, it's very like DIY, Ryan is. It's like I'll do my own artwork, I'll kind of do everything.
That's cool.
I use Joker to do my masters. He's really, really good from Bristol.
He's great.
But now Alex is suddenly like ADHD, suddenly become really good at mastering and mixdown. So I don't even know if some of them now we don't even need to use Joker because like Alex's sounds like really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, Joker is the best. Shout out to Joker each and every. I've got through my fair share of masterers, and he's definitely the best.
That's dope.
Like I don't even have to go back and forth with him because he knows what I want. So it's just really good to work with.
That's the best feeling though when you've got something. I've got somebody. I use a guy called Andy McDougall, and it's exactly the same now. It's like it takes.
What's his surname? McDougall.
McDougall.
Okay, I thought McDougall. Okay, I quite like that.
It's a good name, isn't it? It's a really good name. But it's just nice when you have somebody that gets everything you want, and it's easy, super easy to work with. Yeah. Takes time to get that as well.
Yeah, for sure.
How can people get in touch with the label? How can people send you music?
So I have a label email address, it's just like prettyweirduk@gmail.com. But I also get all my Bandcamp emails go through that. So like, when people purchase music, I wouldn't recommend sending the demos through there because I do find them all though, but I have to like really like
go through it.
Yeah. I would just send it to my email address, which is on my bio and on my socials, which is just like Chloé Robinson DJ@gmail.com.
Cool.
With a please not Google Drive, and please with Dropbox or a SoundCloud private.
Google Drive sucks so much.
I know. So many people still use it though.
I know, it's so bad. And every time you click on the link, it's like unable to access or you cannot download this. I'm like, fine, I'm not listening.
Yeah, I know.
It's awful.
Yeah, I know. Dropbox is great though.
Dropbox is elite.
I think my favorite template is the SoundCloud private link though.
I think it's just the easiest because you can like open up, scan through it, and then if you
Yeah,
like
and it's
it
all
or
kind
not.
of together in a playlist.
Yeah.
Whereas the Dropbox, you have to kind of like click
Yeah.
back or like go next to it.
The worst is
Not
when
that-
somebody sends you like 4 links and you're just like, just put it all in one playlist. Like, it's
Yeah, I
not
know.
hard. Just like,
Guilty. Definitely done that recently.
oh, it's
but
the
yeah.
worst, mate. When somebody sends it to me, I literally email back going, can you put it in a playlist? And send me a link again. I'm like, I don't have time for this.
Yeah. Oh well, it was just to an A&R. So I sent them all my tunes, and then they were like, "Can I hear your?" They just wanted to hear like what I'd put out recently, and then they wanted to hear what I had forthcoming, and then they said, "Can you send me some of your unsigned stuff?" And I didn't really know. I kind of just like went on Dropbox and just put like the name of the track, link, name of the track, link. But I should have made them a playlist. But you know what? It's their job, you know.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
it's fine.
We're like fake A&Rs because it's like
Yeah.
in indie labels, we're just lazy A&Rs.
Exactly.
Mate, we're gonna have to wrap this up. Thank you so much for coming on. How can people follow you? How can people get involved with the Chloé Robinson crew and the Pretty Weird crew?
I have all the same socials, so it's just Chloé Robinson. I can never say my name. Chloé Robinson.
Today's been hard work for you, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's really early for me, DJ.
It's fucking 10:45 in the morning, girl.
I know.
Come on.
It's early, right? And then yeah, that's just my handle for everything.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
But thank you for having me. Sorry that I took so long to work my laptop.
No worries.
But
Thanks.
no, we got it working from the portable charger, so
Big ups to portable chargers. And
Yeah.
go get yourself some Apple travel packs. It'll sort you out.
yeah, the adapters are great. What are they adapters? The plug things.
Yeah, they're just travel adapters. You can get them online, so you don't even have to leave your house. It's fine.
Great.
Amazon. It's a hell of a tool.
Yeah.
Keep safe.
Right.
Have a great
Big
weekend.
love.
Take care. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.